Hello everyone, my name is Anne Marie Graham-Hudak, your Canton Township Supervisor. We are here today at Good Day Canton. We're going to meet some of our employees that are out there in the focus and on our Facebook pages, in our community, or just in our police department, if you're going to hear about them really soon. So we have Kayla Bell, our Community Relations Officer, and Kristen Farmer, our Embedded Social Clinician. They do great things for our community, and they're going to tell you a little bit more about it. So Kale, you've taken over for Patty Esseling. So now you're the new face for our Community Relations Officer. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I have the best job by far in the police department. So my whole job is to engage with the community, whether that's dealing with elderly, young individuals, going to concerts in the park, or even going to a bike rally. I do all of it. So I don't have to be dispatched to calls anymore. I work in an office, but I only spend a small amount of time in my office where a lot of it is out dealing with the public, engaging with people. I've even done things like settle neighbor disputes, just trying to be the voice of reason. The main purpose behind my job is to bridge the gap between the police and the public. So when they see me, I'm a friendly face, we can have conversation, and ultimately realize that police are human too, and I can have there and have a good conversation, have some laughs, and hopefully be a familiar face. I work in the schools a lot, so a lot of these children see me, whether it's 2nd, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, and this just continues that relationship for the public.
What surprised you most about taking this job? I mean, you knew Patty and what she did, but then now that you've stepped into the role, what do you see different?
Well, Patty had an interesting job because not really anybody knew what Patty did. Patty was always busy. So stepping into the role opened my eyes to the fact of there's always something going on in Canton. Whether it's on the weekend, weekday, weeknight, there are things happening. So it's a giant collaboration of working with people with leisure services, working with the police department, the fire department, and the schools. We all work together to continue to keep Canton moving. So it was eye-opening for me to learn that there are a lot of moving parts and I have to know a little bit of everybody. So that was a lot.
Very good. What's your favorite part about the job?
I believe that my favorite part is working with the kids. We hosted a youth academy not more than about a month ago. And just seeing whether it's someone that I worked with in the schools and now they're coming to summer camp. You know, day one, everyone's always a little bit nervous. I'm here on the summer. Is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? By the end of the week, we have a group of friends. Everybody's out there. We ended it with a water balloon fight. It was a ton of fun. So really that seeing people be excited about communicating, talking with us, and just learning things is the best part, hands down.
Is there anything that you might want to change about the job?
Well, we've been working a lot on trying to add more to our handout program. So we have swag, we give out stickers, and I recently made these stress ball donuts, trying to play in the cops and donuts things. I personally like donuts. I don't find it offensive. I really like donuts. So trying to revamp the goodies that we hand out at these events, trying to stay updated and current with what's going on. Departments around us are always evolving with the things that they're doing, so we're trying to be as good, if not better, than other departments around us with the program that we have. And I feel that we're doing a really, really good job with that.
Great. Now, Kale, you definitely are out in the community and people see you around. And Kristen, you have a little bit of a different job. You are helping the police department and the community, but in a different way. You're more in the background and people come to see you. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So I follow up with folks who the police run into during their runs. They feel need a little bit of extra assistance, whether that's a guidance to a therapist or any type of support group or treatment for mental health, substance use, trauma, anything along those lines. So I will follow up with the person after the police are there and get them connected to treatment.
Now, you used to be a dispatcher yourself.
I did.
So you understand that world over there.
Yep,
now,
I do.
What are you seeing different now? Part of your job was the board put you on to basically help the police and residents because we saw a great need in mental health needs increasing in the community. So what kind of trends are you seeing? What do you think Canton has?
This week is older clients. families want to keep their loved ones at home until they're displaying behaviors that might be unsafe. And then the police get involved, whether they wander away or they're just frustrated with, someone who can't take care of their daily needs anymore. So a lot of resource guiding them to get some help. Sometimes it's THC use. Sometimes it's shoplifting, and then find out that the shoplifter has a mental health issue, and then on and on from there.
Okay.
It differs every day.
So I know your caseload goes up and down, and I believe the first time we started the clinician program, we had 160 within a month. What is your caseload right now?
I get about a referral a day. June was a little slower. July has been very busy, so you just never know. There's no telling.
What is the favorite part of your job?
I like talking to people. I get to guide family members who often feel like they have no hope for their loved ones, guide them towards getting their loved one treatment, which leads them to, a happier, satisfied life, knowing that their loved one's going to get help. Mm-hmm. So that's the best part of my job.
What do you think you want to change? Because obvious, you're creating the job as you go, and as our community changes and you see what needs are there.
It's difficult because clearly I don't make the rules, but I would like to be out on the road more. I do a ride along a month, mostly so officers don't forget that I'm here, and so that I can meet people, also see what they do and how they speak to people, and just learning. It's a constant learning and progress.
So what kind of changes do you think you've seen in the community since you started working with them, if any at all, even short-term ones?
Well, we have the familiar faces, the people who call often. That has been reduced quite a bit. And people know that there are treatment options other than just sit home and tough it out. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
I think it's a good lifeline too to have. I know I like when you have a lot of resources and definitely people handing you resources.
Yep.
With whatever is out there to help the communities.
I even have teenagers who just don't know who else to call, so they'll just call to chit chat. I have a couple substance users who, same thing, they just don't know who else to call, and so they'll call me, chit chat for a little bit, and they'll be good. And then they might call next week. If they need something, I'll suggest treatment options and try to escalate it from there. But most of the time, just a phone call so that they know someone is there for them mm-hmm. is really crucial.
That's very nice. And you get to follow up. And I know you're doing a lot of follow-up as much as you can with
yep.
with the workload.
Yep. Things that the police officers don't have time to follow up with. Mm-hmm. That's where I come in.
Very
yeah.
nice. Mm-hmm. Now, both of you are doing a lot of great things for the community. What do you think? We have an ever-changing community. The cultures are changing. More people are moving here, starting different things. Kale, what do you think you could do to help those kind of needs that are coming in?
Well, it's about meeting who we are, right? Mm-hmm. So with our community events that we host, it's awesome where we get the opportunity to meet people who are coming in. Recently, I had a good conversation with some people that came over from Europe. Now, their impression of how we handle things and the stuff that we've done is vastly different than where they came from. Mm-hmm. But they explained to me that in their 30 years of life, they've never had the opportunity to sit down and talk with a police officer. So me being able to offer that, being able to say, yeah, we can talk, and this is what we do, and they introduced their son to me, all of that's great. That's what we really like to see. Mm-hmm. Even events such as like National Night Out that's coming on August 1st, we have the opportunity where we bring all these different people from throughout Canton, from all different backgrounds, come together, and people get to learn. We're making a nice little passport where you can go from stand to stand to stand just to figure out what does Canton offer? What are we about? And it's welcome to everybody. It's not just Canton itself. So if people want to come and figure out why this is such a vibrant community and why it's so diverse and what makes us special, that's a great opportunity for it. And I think just with the people that I work with, and I see how our officers are, and I've seen the responses from people on the road, I'm glad we're in Canton. that rest assured, it makes you feel really good when people are dealing with you. I know things are going to be handled, and that's a good compliment. That's something that we can work with. And Kristen and I have been on many of calls together where we've worked together to help solve things, and something that we both have is time. And I think we've spent hours working with one individual just trying to find a solution. And now there's not one right answer. There's multiple different avenues that you'll have to go down to accomplish a goal. And whether it's me or whether it's her, or whether we work together, eventually we figure out what we need to accomplish that.
Very nice. No 2 days are the same.
No, that's very true.
I understand that.
Yeah.
How about you, Kristen? What do you think is going to start changing in terms of if you speak to other communities and see how they've changed?
Canton is a place where many cultures find home, and I try to find culturally appropriate treatment for people, whether that be a therapist who looks like you, speaks your language, or sometimes people prefer the exact opposite because a large community can be a very small community. But if there is that comfort zone with someone who understands and speaks your language, that's who I'm going to refer you to and try to pair you up with someone who I know you'll have the best outcome with treatment-wise.
Oh, very good.
And that culturally, it spans all mental health zones, from recognizing that mental health is a thing at all, substance use, grief, culturally, appropriate services.
Very nice. Well, you both are great assets to the employees and, of course, to the residents. So thank you for all that you do. And we want to get your stories out there so people can see what kind of help, what kind of community engagement we're doing. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. It's good to be able to talk about it. And if you see us in public, say hello. Please say hello.
Thank you. Well, that's all we have for today for Good Day Canton, and we hope to see you very soon.
This program has been produced by Canton Community Productions.